Let me work out while I'm waiting on my new bike.
And currently it is yellow current.
Come on, push. You got it. Come on. Come on. Charge. Oh, you got this. That's what I see in the commercials, so I know that's what they're going to do. Anyway, this is a nice showroom, right? I mean, you could tell the guys that work here, they're just like, got their Diet Coke, got their snacks, and yeah, it's pretty neat. It's nice, man. I'm digging this. I would see, if I was wealthy, I would just be a power sports guy and be a salesman. I'd be trying to give this stuff away. They'd fire me, but. What's going on, guys? Long time no talk. Hope everybody's out there living the dream, doing what you want to do when you want to do it. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, anniversary, and so forth and so on. Hey, man, celebrate your life. Go out there and ride your bike. Well, today I want to talk about some sad news. I've been a little bit out of the loop with you guys. It's been a lot going on. Obviously, I moved from Central Texas to California. And then once I moved to California, I sold my GS because housing is expensive. And, you know, let's face it, if I want to buy a shack, I need money. So I offloaded the 2023 BMW GS Adventure. Great bike. Let me tell you another thing. Just because you pay a lot of money for the bike doesn't mean somebody wants to pay you a lot of money for the bike. Make sure you guys realize that. I mean, I'm grateful that I'm not trying to put all my business out there, but I'm grateful I was able to put enough down to where it was much easier to offload it. I'll just say that. I think for a lot of people, just like a car, you don't want to be underwater. You don't want to be stuck. You always want that financial freedom if you can have it, right? So anyway, I loaded that. Fast forward, I still needed, a way to get around, so I had the KTM 500. KTM 500 on the highway. Once I lost, because for the guys that have followed me for a while, I lost quite a bit of weight, and that bike was just so light on the highway. On the 405, man, I was like, what are you doing? This is Morgan, by the way. Some of you might know who he is. If not, it's the same dog. He's just bigger. But anyway, it was so tough on the highway, man. So anyway, got the Tenere. Got her. This is a 2024 Mountain Motorsports, I want to say, in Southern California. Nice dealer, nice folks. Once again, I don't even remember the particulars to give you everything, but I feel like out of the door it was like 9 something. I feel like it was 9 something. I'm not trying to exaggerate, but it was leftover new stock that they had. And so picked it up. And what's awesome about the Tenere is the aftermarket is huge on it, obviously. So I immediately, put some crash protection, stuff like that on there. I did some riding on it. It's a great bike. But here comes the down part, the sad part. Unfortunately, I'm getting another bike. So I'm gonna have to unload this. Now I'm gonna walk through the bikes that I've had. Maybe not start to finish, but at least from the GS perspective. So I'm getting an Africa Twin, I'll say this. And this is my second Africa Twin. I had a 2021 previously that I bought in 2021. And that bike served me well. And the reason why I got rid of it is because I was doing more dual sport rides where something much lighter would have been a lot more exciting. Been a lot easier even, whether it's me loading in the back of the truck or on a hitch carrier, that type of thing. It was just much easier. My wife, she's filming, so what's the matter? Oh, okay. Harry, what are you doing? Okay. What are you doing, man? What you doing, big man? What you doing, man? Okay, so anyway, at the time, I could only have, at the time, I only wanted to spend money on one bike. So I traded in the 2021 Africa Twin after a long stint of highway riding. Man, I don't know. I know I did 1,000 miles in like 24 hours. It was unofficial iron butt, but I was so ready to get back home from where I was, just because I hadn't been going so long. So anyway, that's when I realized I'm gonna try to have something lightweight. Got the KTM, traded the AT for the KTM. Thank you, TJ Cycles, for giving me a great deal on my trade. That all worked out. Awesome, right? And I still have the KTM 500 to this day. That was in 2023. No, I bought it in 2022. Still have it in 2026. So hey, man, that was a good buy, right? Anytime you buy something, keep it. And I knew the other side of that was to get the BMW GS. I just had to wait a few months. So I waited until maybe December, end of November, December. No, I think I bought it the last day of December of 2022, 3. I don't remember. I rocked that freaking KTM 500 for a while, several months. I mean, and it's an awesome bike. Anyway, bought the 2023 BMW GS Adventure. Great ESA, suspension. It just fit my frame. You know what I mean? I'm 6'2". At the time, I was roughly 30 pounds. It's a big dude, and it just fit really well. I mean, it up until that point, I hadn't had a bike that could tour as well as my Gold Wings that I've had in the past. I've had 2 Gold Wings. And so I had that bike for about a year, and then my wife was like, "Hey, let's move." And I was like, "Okay, well, what are we moving to? California? Southern California? I ain't got no money." So anyway, all right, full circle, BMW had to go. So that's where the Tenere came in. Tenere was such an affordable price. It sets up like a dirt bike as far as it was the most comfortable going from the KTM to another adventure bike, that or the Ducati Desert X. It's really good. I mean, if you were close to 6 foot or higher, it's a really good bike. I've never ridden it on the highway. I've only sat on it in showrooms, if I'm being honest. But if you're a bigger stature person and you're used to riding dual sports, it's a really good bike. But this is, I feel like, the poor man's version of that. Okay, so outfitted with crash protection. Got some extra lighting because you need extra light. I got a collar windscreen that's adjustable. I got a CarPlay unit on there. Got my little man purse bag on the bar. So, one thing I like about it here out in Southern California is lane splitting. And the GS, when I had it, and I have some videos I've made on it, the bike was just so wide. It's really intimidating to get into some of these tighter areas where it's time to split. This bike right here, dude, you just treat it like a I'm trying to think, what do they call it? It's the West Coast style motorcycles, like a Dyna, where it's just thin and tall bars. That's what this feels like, thin and tall bars. Let me show you. Like Andre from TFL, let me show you. So boom, Morgan, show him, Harry, show him. So yeah, love it for that. I had highway pegs on here, but it's about to get traded in, and I want to keep them, to be honest. So, but I did put a 6-gallon tank near Chirby's, which was pretty easy. It was actually really cheap too. I would tell people, if you have a Tenere and you're trying to do long distance, totally get the bigger tank. Tusk, I mean, for $100 for these, that's not bad. It's like 70 something like that. Anyway, I love this for around town-ish. But depending on how much around town you're doing, it's a lot of stoplights. My clutch finger gets a little weak on me every now and then. I will admit I don't ride as much as I used to. So, but long story short, I took this out towards the Barstow area, and I did some desert riding-ish. And getting there, I took the Route 66, awesome ride. Coming back, I took the freeway, and that's when I realized, everything has a compromise. You know what I mean? That's why for those that can, you get multiple bikes, because you know that there's not really one bike to rule them all, unfortunately. Even though we want it to be so. Or then again, depending on, maybe you're the type of person where you just do a certain type of riding, and it's very cut and dry. For some of us that are passionate about different aspects of it, it's unfortunate we have to get multiple bikes. So anyway, I realized that this is a good bike, but I think I feel like since I had so many other bikes that travel so well on the interstate, I knew at some point this day would come. So I've been looking at some other bikes, and then I decided, dude, let's just go back to the AT, but this time let's get the AT AS ES DCT. My gosh, I had to really sit there and think about that. But anyway, this has been a great bike. I guess I want to keep this video mainly about the Tenere, how affordable it is to mod. I bought a cheap knockoff exhaust. Sounds great. My gosh, man. This right here gets everybody's attention, and immediately, like the Red Sea parts. Oh, okay, this is another dealership trying to do a deal. Let me, they were supposed to call me yesterday, early in the morning. This is Steve. Do it good. You know what? One of your guys called me as he was walking out the door yesterday, man, and I told him I had worked out a deal with somebody. I'm actually, wrapping up. I'm about to go trade my stuff in here in like the next 30 minutes, man. But I'm going to, what's this, SoCal Honda in Carson. I reached out to you guys yesterday morning, I feel like, and I didn't hear anything until, I don't know, 6 or after 6. So I was definitely ready to do a deal, man. It just didn't work out, I guess. Yeah. Oh yeah. Honestly, yeah. Two people. Huntington's beating you, and the SoCal, Carson. So, yeah. So appreciate it. I'll be honest with you, man. I think the customer service on their part definitely beats you. You're in third there anyway, man. So, but I appreciate you trying to hustle now, but I think unfortunately it's just a little too far gone, man. I'm not trying to pull your leg. I was ready to do a deal yesterday, and I didn't hear anything back. But the other two, they were ready to work with me. So I appreciate you calling. You're very polite, man. But just we ain't gonna be able to do a deal right now. All right, buddy. All right, bye. All right, bye. Customer service, ladies and gentlemen. When somebody's ready to spend a few dollars, look, man, you just gotta show up. You know what I mean? That's what you get paid to do. I called this one dealer yesterday at 10:30. Dude, they got back to me at like 6:30. The guy literally said, yeah, man, I'm about to walk out the door. I'm not gonna be able to get you out of the door numbers when he finally did call me. And I was like, dude, come on, man. Like, just work me some numbers. I give you my zip code. Just give me something. You know what I mean? Like literally all day long. And that was their manager calling me. I'm just like, dude, it's just too. At this point, multiple dealerships that beat you already on the number and customer service. I can't give you a chance after that. I'm sorry. People have to realize that, man. This is not C19 times anymore. This is normal times where you actually have to provide a service for your customer. Instead of, you saying, I don't want to help you, I'm going to help this other person. It's not like that right now, especially for recreational stuff, power sports, man. Get with it, folks. I'm not saying you got to kiss booty, but you remember what you're getting paid to do. So anyway, back to it. This is a great bike. We're at the Barstow. On my way back, I was on I-15, I believe, and that's when I realized, I wish I could see myself being on something a little different. But at the time, this was so cheap, and we're effectively able to pay it off like that because it was so affordable, right? So I just kept it, and I knew we were going to buy a home, so I didn't worry about it. Well, now that we're in our shack, okay, we're repairing the shack. I think it's time. So anyway, been a good bike. Highs for me for this bike is the entry cost is really good. If you're used to a dirt bike, this is as cheap as you're going to get for a full-size bike that you could travel across the country. Rocky Mountain ATV MC, shout out to you guys. You have great stuff. You can get your tires for affordable price. You can get your crash protection, your luggage. I have Moscow Moto Rackless 80. It's not on there now because I'm not giving that up. It's expensive, but I got the TUS top rack, so I can bolt all that on there. Like I said, I was just able to go with a cheapo exhaust. I had some extra lights left over and some handlebar, some crash guard mounts that I was able to fabricate real cheap, just to give me some extra lighting. Like I said, windshield, CarPlay unit. This thing, it was awesome being able to, when I have to commute, when I have to go into the office, it's awesome being able to have that nice big screen, have my Cardo, and be able to lane split so easy, man. It still gets great fuel economy, and the bark on this exhaust is awesome. Now, your negatives are, it's still tubed, you know what I mean? But it costs to be the boss, baby. If you want to have tubeless, you got to pay to play. So, honey, am I missing anything? Should I touch on anything? Great bike, great bike. And if my budget would not allow, I would be still content to keep this. But, you know, as other people have pointed out on other videos, not just for me, but for other people on YouTube, some of us have this grass is greener thing, and it's a disease, unfortunately. It's sad, but good bike. I'll be sad to see it go just because it looks so good. I love the way the stance is. Another thing, I lowered the bike. Let me make sure I touch on that. I lowered the front about an inch, or maybe even a little bit more than an inch, and I lowered the rear. Like, I forgot now. It's alt-rider lowering links. It's adjustable, and I did that, man, because I felt like the center. I'm tall enough, obviously, but I felt like the center of gravity. It was really tall. All the talk that you hear from these guys saying that it's really top heavy, it's true, man. I mean, you're talking about somebody. I mean, look, I got no problem, you know, knocking them out, and it's still heavy, guys. I'm telling you right now. So I lowered the bike, right, and I definitely felt like that. It didn't affect the handling in a negative way, and it felt like it made the bike lighter while I'm on my feet. Okay, come on, man, you in the shot. Over here. Okay, go ahead. It felt like it made it much lighter, dude. It was awesome. So really was satisfied with that. So don't be afraid to lower your bikes, guys, if you need to. I know you have so many people who are entitled to tell you what you should and shouldn't do, but I don't see those guys out there winning championships. Some of them, yeah, but even the guys that are winning championships, dude, they're because they know it's really what works and what you can perfect. You know what I mean? It's really what it's about.
You were going over some of the differences as to why you wanted to go to the AT, and I think you had mentioned like tubeless, but what were some of the other reasons why you were moving back to the
I'm
AT,
moving back
to
to
the
the AT
DCT?
because of Honda reliability. I love Honda. I started off with the Honda Rally 250. That was a great bike. Couldn't keep on the Texas road, so I ended up getting the 2021 Africa Twin. I'm going to the Adventure Sports mainly. It has cruise, heated grips built in, better wind protection. Going down the highway, I can change the gearing. I know that. But just going down the road, you sit in the bike instead of on the bike. So with the added fairing and wind protection, sitting in the bike is just more touring. They actually have a 19-inch front wheel, because I thought about converting this to Supermoto at one point. I still, you know, I mean, if I were to keep it, I think why not? Put 17s from the MT-07 on there and call it a day. But that's a 1918, so I can still have my GS-ish without spending $25,000 or more for the new one. Because I did go and look at a used GS, and that's when I realized the lane splitting is going to be a pain, and I want the Honda, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Cruise, which you can get cruise here. It's like $800-900, I want to say. Cruise, built-in heated grips, CarPlay. I know everybody's like, oh, CarPlay. It's kind of nice, dude, especially if you're treating it as a commuter. I think that's what some people may not realize. If you're just hopping on the bike to go out and do a spirited run on a weekend, it doesn't mean as much. But if you're getting on the bike multiple times a week and you're trying to do multiple things, take a call, play some music, get directions. You know what I mean? Those things add up. And if you're on the bike on a more consistent basis throughout the week, that's when having CarPlay is nice. The BMW, it has its own deal, which you can still take calls. Like, I used it on my GSA, my 2023. It was good, but I didn't like CarPlay. Because previously, I want to say with my Africa Twin, I have Gaia Maps, different apps, you know what I mean? And it's nice that all that stuff can just be built in. They'll leave out anything else. Like I said, I'm 6'2", I'm 185, 190 pounds now. I didn't mess with the suspension. I mean, when I say mess with, I didn't replace anything in the suspension. I just upped everything really. Before I lowered it and definitely tweaked it after I lowered it, if I'm honest. But this bike, I only put 2,200 miles on it, guys. So it's not like I can give you this long, extensive. I've been on this thing for 10,000 miles. Had it, even though I've had it for a little while, had it for over a year and some change now. I had no idea how little I rode this thing. So that's, it really hit me yesterday. It is time for it to go, because most of the time, most especially Southern California. I just can't understand why I can't hit 10,000 miles on a bike a year. Granted, I've been a little busy here with school and work, but still, and home construction, shack construction. Anything else that I'm missing, honey, that I should say? I can't. Just say it, honey.
No, I was gonna say, I can't think of anything else. You'd gone over some of your older bikes, and as far as like some of the things that you liked about the Tenere, and then talked about why you're moving to the AT DCT.
Yeah.
So
I did like that they had the nice newer display. It doesn't have the 2025 display, but it has something very similar to that. Excuse me. I thought that was really neat. Yeah, I mean, it's a solid bike, man. You know what I'm saying? I will say I did drop the bars once in some sand out there in Barstow, and the bars did bend, so I was kind of like, it's kind of weak there. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've dropped the KTM. Granted, it is lighter, but you figure after dropping it 10 times, the bar would have bent by now. It ain't bent. That one bent, and I was like, why is my bar looking like this going down the road, going back to Southern California from the desert? But anyway, it really has been a good bike, man. I mean, I'm just a diva, you know, but ultimately those things I pointed out that, you know, the other one has the Adventure Sports has a 6.5 gallon tank, cruise control, heated grips, Apple CarPlay, better wind protection, 19-inch front wheel, you know, things that I have, you know, the adjustable suspension, electronic adjustable suspension, things that I had on with the GS, but at a lower cost. And not just the cost per se, but me being able to lane split. Because even though I had really good wind protection on the GSA, I still had the wind hitting me, guys. You know, I'm 6'2". That wind was still, you know what I mean? Now my legs were pretty solid there. But anyway, I'm excited to be my first DCT bike. You know, I did not see myself, but I also didn't see myself living in Southern California really. So there we go. All right, guys. Well, if you have any questions, I'm sure I probably offended some people. This is a great bike, okay? It is. Look at it, okay? It looks badass, right? Thank you, honey. Shout out to my honey. You know, her and I, we talk bikes. I don't know, it seems like a couple times a week. You just can't help it. She's so good. She is more knowledgeable, I bet you, than a lot of you guys out there. She has no choice, unfortunately. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Get out there, live your life, ride your bike.
like and subscribe, thanks.
You gotta do all that. All right. Oh wow! Let me work out while I'm waiting on my new bike.
And currently it is yellow current.
Come on, push! You got it! Come on! Come on! Charge! Oh, you got this! That's what I see in the commercials, so I know that's what they're gonna do. Anyway, this is a nice showroom, right? I mean, you could tell the guys that work here, they're just like, got their Diet Coke, got their snacks, and yeah, it's pretty neat. It's nice, man. I'm digging this. I would see, if I was wealthy, I would just be a power sports guy and be a salesman. I'd be trying to give the stuff away. They'd fire me, but because I'm wealthy, I'll just, you know, figure something out. So here is the bike that, you know, I was told is ugly. I won't say who told me. It wasn't my wife, but they told me it was ugly. So I'm just going to sit on it real quick. DCT as well. So, I mean, not bad, you know? It is like cop bike. I almost do feel like a little cop bike-ish, but not in a bad way, you know? Not bad. Honestly, this is definitely, if you couldn't afford to go in, look, let's be honest, if you couldn't afford to go in, this right here is pretty good.
I don't think it's
DCT.
ugly.
Not bad. Truly. Not bad at all. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, one of these days I'll probably get another go wing and I'll get the new one. I actually like the bagger look personally. I don't like the bagger price, much is it? Okay, I don't like any price, but I'll probably end up getting it. This is what started it all, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I had a 250 that was similar to this, but if I didn't have the KTM 500, it would be a Husky 701 or it'd be this, hands down. So I like it, man. Oh yeah, that's that Honda. That's that low ride suspension that you know it's known for. But not bad though. Really nice facility though here. If anybody wants to get a bike, come down here to SoCal Power Sports out there in Carson. We can make you a good deal. We really can. I'm telling you, man, we've got some really nice bikes. Really. More gold wings are, yeah, they're big. How you doing, Rob? Good. 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 Good morning. So